Hi, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. We are starting a new series today. It is The Pacific, and those of you who've watched our Band of Brothers reactions, you probably know about us starting The Pacific and the fact that Kat wasn't going to be a part of them, but my father, he's a part of them all the way through. We're going to be watching the entire series together and talking about it and talking about some World War II stuff in general, I'm sure, even though you probably know more about what happened on the European front compared to the Pacific. But we'll do our best to dive into it and try to talk about it and analyze what's going on and why and everything. But yeah, we've been looking forward to starting this series because you watch Band of Brothers.
I watched that before. I went into the reaction video, but this time I haven't seen the Pacific before, so I might even react to some of the stuff. Last time I was more like a picture on the side, but I might react to some of this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. It's a first for me as well. Haven't seen this, none of it. I'm pretty damn sure. And what we know about it is just from what you guys have been telling us is it's pretty graphic. And the Japanese, they are a tough opponent, and they can be very ruthless. But that's the extent of my knowledge, at least for now. But yeah, unless you have anything, I think we're just gonna jump into it. And we're also doing full reactions and hopefully also we will do early reactions as well, as I just announced in a recent schedule. And the copy or the version that we're watching of the Pacific right now, it's our own copy. So I don't know how it's going to match up if you're watching this on full length and you're using a streaming service or something. But I hope it matches up. Otherwise, we'll just have to work it out and maybe we'll switch to a streaming service in a way. But yeah, that's going to do it. I think we're ready to jump into it.
Go on.
Go on, yes. Part 1, or the first episode. Here we go. Already the music is very reminiscent of Band of Brothers. So it's clear it's made by the same people. Ooh, John Bernthal. Nice. It's the guy who plays Punisher, the newest one.
Does the title tell you anything? Guadalcanal?
Guadalcanal? No, not really. It's my knowledge about
Pacific Wars.
Yeah, it's pretty limited. I'm thinking you know a thing or two already about it?
Yeah. It's the first time land-based that the US sort of kicks back against the Japanese.
Alright.
It's just shortly after the Battle of Midway, and then...
Okay, yeah.
And it's... Japanese was building an airfield, Henderson Airfield, and they
Oh,
wanted to go take that.
of course, yeah,
So-
especially after what happened Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, flashback.
Mm-hmm.
From the title, at least.
Yeah.
Sorry. Vera. Bob Leckie. I'm your neighbor from across the
I know
street.
who you are, Bob.
I joined the Marines. Thought I'd do my bit.
Well, if I don't see you before you go, take care of yourself.
Wait, Vera, let me get that for you.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe I'll write you.
All right.
I miss anything? Movie hasn't started.
Here is what the Japs are not expecting. The United States Marine Corps. Now, never mind Europe. Hitler is not going to be our job. Not until they can't whip him without us. The Pacific will be our theater of war. The victory will have been won by you, the NCOs, with the chevrons on your sleeves and the instincts in your guts and the blood on your boots. Hold your loved ones dearly. Join them in prayers for peace on earth and goodwill toward all men. And then report back here, ready to sail across God's vast ocean, where we will meet our enemy and kill them all. Merry Christmas. Happy 1942.
Merry Christmas. Some speech.
There was a guy called Chesty, I think, I read about. They nicknamed him Chesty at least.
Yeah.
This is JP and Manny. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Oh, it looks real nice.
When all this is over, let's say a year from tonight, we'll sit down at this table again for a welcome home feast. Just get the job done and come home to us.
Yeah.
Let's say a year from now.
Those clothes are for the guests. Carlo, you want that? Yeah, you know I'm sorry.
Take the cannoli. Sorry if you can hear any noise. It's neighbors, upstairs neighbors, people moving stuff around, vacuuming. Yeah.
And my old bones cracking.
There's a war on. Everybody's got to make sacrifices.
Your mother said I was a fool not to buy a Ford, which is not right.
He's avoiding it.
That's it, Dad.
It's not easy sending your son off to war. Any family member for that matter. It's just, yeah. Can't avoid it.
Bye, son.
Son. Eugene, I'm sorry.
He's not fit for the Marines.
Funny thing, doctor smoking during the examination.
Yeah, it was a different time. Most certainly. Many aspects.
Gene, supper's ready.
Deacon, you stay.
Very rich family though. With servants and everything.
I wish we were going together.
Yeah, well, you take care of yourself, Greaser.
You don't have to worry about me.
I would still worry.
Today, Marines! This is it! Today's the night!
Keep it moving. Don't wait for a seat. A lot of Marines to feed.
Move, move, move!
Skipped a lot of the training this time around.
Yeah.
I'm planning to take out an entire Jap regiment all by myself.
Plan on doing that, Sergeant York.
Line them up, boom down. Real turkey shoot.
I got a feeling it's gonna be a little more complicated.
Just a little bit.
Without a sign, his sword the brave man draws. And that's no omen but his country's cause. Give me back my smoke.
Let's go, boys! Everybody on deck! We'll yank the surviving Japs out of their shit-filled holes by their yellow bull! They'll go round-eyed when the first American plane lands on their airfield when you see the Japs! Kill them all! Yeah! Let's go get them!
Alright. Brutal, but necessary, I guess.
Yeah, you don't go beat gentle when you're...
No. Treat them nicely. Treat them like you would want to be treated. It's yeah. Morals, ethics, out the window. Now we're at war.
Still a lot of moral and ethics. There's still a lot of moral and ethics that you need to comply with and will comply with, but
Oh yeah.
gotta wind people up.
Wind them up, yeah, exactly. Get into the right state of mind. Or a certain state of mind, at least. Here we go. At least it's not like landing at Normandy.
Nope. It's actually pretty nice and quiet when they...
Yeah.
But they'll
That's...
change.
yeah.
What took you so long? Welcome to Guadalcanal.
They thought they were going to be fighting as soon as they got there.
Now what do I do? The Islanders use a machete or a rock?
Try using your head, Shuttler. It's big and rock-like.
Hey, for what it's worth, Corporal Dobson says the Japs might have poisoned the coconuts.
How?
Poisoned a billion coconuts?
Excuse me. Let's go find some Japs.
If they don't find you first, I'm guessing just, you know, the terrain and the climate and everything, that's also a big part of the challenge.
Very
operating
much.
in it.
Very much.
Yeah.
I mean, jungle warfare is like when you see the enemy, his bayonet already said hello to you, so it's
Yeah. Yeah. And they're familiar with their own territory. It's just...
Yeah. And that's it. Their objective was an airfield that they were building.
Mm. So they do have a clear objective. They're not just on reconnaissance or something. Just
No.
Okay. What is that weapon he's carrying around on his?
I think it's a machine gun. I don't know. There'll be a guy carrying the tripod. And yeah, that's the tripod.
Mm.
The other guy has the machine gun.
Okay. Yeah. Very quiet so far.
Yep. It kind of gives you a feel of the terrain.
Yeah.
I would hate fighting there.
Fuck yeah. Oh.
Goddamn bastard.
Yeah.
Executed or yeah. Well, I'm thinking some of the Japanese soldiers, they do carry swords or katanas or something.
Yes, officers do.
Yeah.
And some of them even had competitions on who would kill the most and stuff like that. So
Okay.
some of the atrocities, they happen.
Oh shit. Did anyone shoot at them or? Oh, already, yeah, okay. She just went straight for the medic. Or was that a coincidence? Maybe.
They did actually go straight for medics. And
I went to take a piss. Somebody opened it.
Oh.
so it's blue on blue. Well,
Oh, okay. Dang.
Did he say the password?
I don't know. Start walking. We're moving to the top of the ridge.
But yeah, we do know that the Japanese, they did target the medics.
yeah.
Guess we took the airfield. Well, let's go home.
Whoa.
Lord. Can you imagine being on one of those ships?
That's Admiral Turner blowing the whole Jap fleet to the bottom of the channel. Killing them.
Are you? Though?
Yeah, no.
Bitch.
They left.
Where's the Navy?
They
Gone.
got fucked up and they left.
4 cruisers. Turner took everyone left and headed for open sea. We're it for now.
Let's dig in, Marines.
Not a good start. Alligator Creek.
Yep.
Good. A company made contact. 3 miles east. Destroy any letters you have with any dates or addresses.
Alright. Is there a particular reason for that?
Don't give them any intel.
Just give them nothing. Okay. Okay, yep. I was thinking, since this is a place with a name and they showed us the name, it was going to be somewhere where a battle took place. Nope.
He's lost it. Come on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Get over there.
Yeah, well, that happens as well.
Look how close they are to each other.
Yeah, they're so close. Like, just across the river there. That's it. And they can't call in any artillery or air support or anything really.
No, they're left.
Yeah, exactly. They are mowing them down.
Yep.
Whew.
Like a lot.
Yeah, holy shit. Those machine guns, very useful.
Fireman, we got a live one here. Take a pin in him, Doc.
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, fuck.
Fucking yellow monkey.
That's when they meet a fanatic enemy.
Yes. I'm guessing that's also why they were so surprised that they just kept on running and coming at them, and like no matter what, they just keep on going. Fucking shoot me. Okay, it's a good thing Kat isn't watching this.
Well, as I told you, morale and ethics are still there.
Yes, on one side.
Yeah. Well,
or just
it shows up every now and then. So.
It does. It does. They're still human. Like.
Good job moving around last night. Sir, got you promoted to corporal.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, ma'am, I am a corporal.
Yeah. That'll humanize the enemy a bit for you when you find stuff like that.
Probably, yeah.
There are things men can do to one another that are sobering to the soul. It is one thing to reconcile these things with God, but another to square it with yourself.
Ha!
I've been sitting on this one. I want to get it really right for you. Where you been? Up with the son of Simone. Screwing your girlfriend. Oh! I have a girlfriend? Lucky me. Hey, if we have one, can I be your date?
You are ugly. I want Hoosier.
Take a number.
Johnny Graham, it's your turn.
Truth is, you're the lucky one, Sid. You'll never have that nagging thought that you let your family, your friends, and your country down.
Oh, it's Eugene, I believe his name was.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. How fucked are you now?
It's surely fucked now. Yeah. Wow, that was a good first episode.
That was.
It really, really was. It certainly got into, some of the people that we're following. We got to see them a little bit at home, but then they got there like fairly quickly, and when we commented on the fact that they skipped the whole training thing, so we didn't get like a whole episode like we did with the Band of Brothers with Kurahi, where we were just training and getting ready for.
Was part of the whole Band of Brothers. So
yeah, exactly. So they switched it up and trying to not make it just a copy of what they did with Band of Brothers. So I appreciate that, and getting into some battles, but still don't know much about the enemy other than the fact that they just keep on coming and they're very persistent.
They actually learned a lot on Guadalcanal with the Marines because of the way the Japanese attacked and how fanatic they were about it. And they did have a few attacks where they saw how they just decapitated the enemy Japanese. The fanatic part of them was a surprise, and of course it spilled over to the Marines, so the Marines got a bit tougher from this one. I know people talk about Okinawa and Iwo Jima as places where the Marines really got born or whatever, but I think Guadalcanal here was one of the places where they learned a lot about themselves and set up the whole attitude. Gave that a little extra on the attitude of the Marines. So, and before all this happens, there was a battle of Midway. They didn't talk about that, but they only touched the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. But before that, there was a battle, it was called the Battle of Midway, where the Japanese tried to attack Midway, and the Americans, they sort of broke all the Japanese code, more or less, during the whole war. So they knew they were coming.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And at that battle, they took out some of the Japanese aircraft carriers. Before World War II, the big ships was the big warships was the big what do you call them, the big cruisers or whatever. But here in the beginning of World War II, it turned out that the big ship was actually the aircraft carriers, because now you have someone to see for you a lot further out. So and the Japanese were setting up the aircraft carriers like 4 together. Where the Americans sort of put a lot of ships around the aircraft carrier and could hide them a little bit better. And at Midway, the Americans found the Japanese aircraft carrier. You just need to find one, then the others, they're
right around the same.
So that was one of the real turning points with the Battle of Midway. And after that, the Americans sort of took the initiative. And the reason they went to the Solomon Islands was because they were building an airfield there that could reach the United States, but also to protect Australia.
Yes,
it's all very close to Australia. So the Japanese, it's a very good aircraft carrier to have an island. I mean, it's very hard to sink. So
yes, exactly.
So that was whole concept behind it.
Sink the other aircraft carriers, but you can't, as you're saying, sink an actual island. So that was important for them to get.
Yeah. And they learned a lot about the Japanese. There was a lot of sea battles around the area as well at the same time. I think the bay between the islands was called something like Iron Button Bay. I think it's referred to all the ships.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of things happen around Guadalcanal, and that was really the first real hard pushback where the Americans learned a lot about themselves, how to fight. The dependency on airplanes and aircraft carriers and all that was coming more and more evident during that time. So it was a very good place to start, I think. And I like that they also show that this is very much different than in the European War, where the terrain is more known.
Yeah,
where you go to these, let's say, it's a paradise,
Garden of Eden,
but not really. And I mean, as you see, they can get very close to you before you actually can see the enemy and fight the enemy. And as I said, when you say hello to the enemy, you already met his bayonet if you come close enough. So
yes, exactly. And I imagine that's what they were aiming for. The Japanese who attacked them there around the river. Why they were trying to get so close, maybe it's just and flank them and get around and get up real close.
Yeah. They would be attacking in this close quarters, and they would have bayonets on, so they'll be ready to fight hand-to-hand combat. And they'll probably come a little bit. I don't know about the next one, but at Guadalcanal, they defended this airfield several times, where the Japanese really tried very hard with head-on attacks, and they were mowing them down, as you saw, by the thousands. So.
Yeah, so maybe there was something about the Americans that the Japanese didn't expect as well.
They expected lazy Americans because that was what they have heard. They had some Japanese soldiers going to the U.S., even had some training there, and they were expecting these lazy Americans who really just wanted comfort above everything. So it kind of surprised them as well that they were fighting so hard and they were standing their ground that way.
Yes.
They didn't expect that, and they even set in a whole division attack and got repelled as well. So
wow, yeah.
So that was one of the main battles, I think, that the Guadalcanal battle and what they did there, and the whole attitude in the United States up until they joined the war was more or less, let's stay out of this one. We just went to Europe for World War One, so let's not go again.
Yeah.
And Franklin Delano Roosevelt was trying to sort of get the Americans ready for war, but still saying out loud that, don't worry, we're not going to send our soldiers there. And then when the attack came, then the Americans went, oh, let's go give them a bloody nose.
Yeah.
That was another turning point.
Yeah, that'll do it. Then if they try to attack you in your home, so to say, then it'll make you go, those fuckers, let's go and get them.
And you get jumpy as well. Another funny story is that right after the attack of Pearl Harbor, a lot of Americans on the West Coast was afraid that the Japanese would attack the mainland.
Yeah.
So they put off guards and all that. There's actually been what you call the Battle of Los Angeles. It's called that. Nothing really happened. No one really died, but someone thought they heard a plane, and everyone just
lost their shit and started shooting. Or
when in doubt, empty your magazine. So they did that.
All right.
The Battle of Los Angeles was one night, but there was a lot of fire in the air.
I could imagine so.
But
people being jumpy.
Not one down plane or anything. I think might have been one casualty, but that was about it.
Oh yeah, okay.
But the Japanese did try with U-boats to sink ships. In the harbors on the west coast of the United States. So they were jumpy, and with good reasons, because they didn't want the Japanese to attack.
No, not at all. And I'm thinking like a lot of people in the States just like back then, just as now, they had weapons of their own, maybe, private people or civilians, it's called, sorry. And so they were getting ready as well, and they were also standing guard and being a bit jumpy, maybe.
They were ready, and they're ready to do the duty.
Yes, repel the invaders if they need to. So yeah, and I think that sense of duty, that is definitely something that is very prevalent. Both it was in Band of Brothers and here as well, and you do get it through someone like that guy Eugene, who didn't get to go, and he's so ashamed about it. Like, I can't do my part for the country. You're the lucky one. You're the one who got to go. And they talked about that in Band of Brothers as well. Like, people who couldn't go, like they were almost like got to the point where they got suicidal because they were like, I need to go, otherwise my life will have no meaning. And
I want to serve as well. I want to do my part. And and that really that surprised the Japanese as well.
There's a little fanatic streak there as well. You know, some of that fanatic national pride, maybe. Not that is necessarily a bad thing or any, but yeah, I imagine that surprised the Japanese as well.
Yeah, but I think it's a good start to the series. I like the way that it's not that heavy paced or anything. It's just getting to know people and getting to know the layout of the places where they're gonna be fighting.
Yes,
and touched on how the Japanese are acting, reacting. Just one guy got his head decapitated, another one was tied up but shot, and they did not take prisoners.
And also, you know, the guy who they were playing with, so to say, and his reaction to that, where he's just like, don't do this to me. Don't take away my pride and my honor in a way. Just let me die with dignity. Let me. Yeah.
And then the whole cultural thing about this is very interesting. One of your patrons wrote in one of the comments about Dan Carlin's Hardcore History podcast, and I've been listening to those.
Yeah,
he talks about the whole cultural thing behind why are the Japanese acting the way they are, and what really happened behind the scene before the war. That's very interesting. So
I'm thinking,
whoever wrote it, thank you. That's a good podcast. And
I'll maybe have to listen to that as well, because I do very much, you know, like the idea of, you know, understanding a culture, even if it's your enemy. Like, understand their culture. Why are they the way they are? Like, and you can do that through so many things. And, you know, just a reference that's definitely in our wheelhouse from Star Wars. Someone like Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is very, like, he is very good strategically, exactly because he studies the culture of the other planets and the people that he's sent to take out or invade or whatever, and studying their art and history. And yeah, it's I find that very interesting as well.
It's more or less what military intelligence is about. Getting to know the enemy as much as you possibly can. And you might even have to go back a long time in history to find out why are they acting the way they are.
Yes.
The Dan Carlin podcast, the first 8 hours of the 16 hours podcast, doesn't even touch the war. It's all background on the Japanese or the whole Indochina thing, and not having the resources in Japan itself and all that. It makes you understand a little bit better and what really happened.
Yes. And that is one of the, if not the most important thing about history, is understanding what happened so that we can do better in the future and stuff like that, and understanding why things go down the way they do, why people are acting the way they do. So as you said, this was a very good start to this series. Looking very much forward to watching the rest of the episodes, and pacing. And you can also see that this series is almost a decade older than Band of Brothers, just with the effects and stuff like that. It's very well made. Not that Band of Brothers wasn't well made. It definitely was, but there's still a little
technologically you can get that little extra now.
Yes, exactly. And you could definitely see that when they got towards the islands with all the ships and the airplanes, and then also the explosions, and it looked very real. So it had a great impact, I would say. So
and I really hope that you can help me out when I stumble or word fumble during this. You just cut it out, right?
Oh yeah, sure. But not that many stumbles.
Well, that was a good start.
It definitely was.
Looking forward to the next one.
Me too.
And I'll see if I can find room in my schedule to drop by and watch it. So,
yes, exactly.
As to you guys, I'm sorry, I might be the one that's the break on this one. I have a daytime job that I need to keep up with, and it kind of keeps me busy every now and then. So if he misses a beat, it's my fault.
Yeah. If we have to take a break for a week or maybe two, I hope not, of course. But if it happens, then you'll know why. But we are aiming for putting out at least one episode a week, and then we hope to be able to continue and watch a couple of episodes next week, maybe just to get ahead a little bit, and then those will be out on Patreon as soon as I can get them done and everything. But I think that's going to do it for this reaction and review of the first episode of The Pacific. We enjoyed it very much, and we are looking forward to watching the rest with you guys. So nothing else to say, but thank you so much for watching, and we will see you very soon. Bye.